Hey everybody, welcome to Just Plays Exile Election. We're about to go read some stuff in the data room. Okay, so we have some new cards. We're gonna have to see who we've got. Do we have all three things of... No. What about Michimune? Oh. Okay. So we do have some stuff from Michimune. Alright, cool. Let's... yeah, let's load. Okay. Alright, cool. So we can do some Michimune stuff this time. Let's learn about Michimune. Okay. School ended, and usually I would have been going to my club at this point, but today was different. But is this really okay? Don't you have a big match coming up? Yuri said that. But I hadn't had many chances lately to go home with just the three of us. And so I was pretty happy about it. As long as I was around, they wouldn't have to worry about the stalker. Hey, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal, so I can miss a day or two of practice. You say that. I felt bad for making Yuri worry. But I was actually a lot more concerned about Miyori-san. Forget about that. Miyori-san, what kind of person is this stalker? Well, sorry, I don't actually have any idea. Well, I guess you can't help that, considering you've never seen him. Lately, Miyori-san had said that she felt like somebody was always staring at her, and she had asked Yuri about it, and then he had come to me. This was the first time I had ever actually asked about the details. It might just be my imagination. Sorry. Well, I mean, it would be fine if it was just your imagination. In fact, I'd prefer that. Since we'd entered junior high school, I'd been spending all of my time with my club, and getting time for just the three of us had gotten way more rare than I would have liked. Apparently, Miyori-san had also joined the art club. But since those kinds of clubs didn't have to stay as late as the sports clubs, we didn't end up having any time to go home together. It's not like I was upset about club. I found it really fun, in fact. But, there was something really sad and lonely about not spending as much time with Miyori-san or Yuri. And that's why I didn't want to let this chance slip through my fingers. But since it would be really bad if it isn't just your imagination, well, I want to make sure I can do everything I can to be with you. I had truly meant it, but just as I was about to continue, Yudi cut me off with a serious look and a shake of his head. I don't think it's just her imagination. At the very least, I've seen this person. What? You've seen him? Well, I haven't seen their face. I was pretty shocked. Confused as to whether he had actually seen them or not, Yudi continued. I know that there was somebody out there in the garden. They probably had a camera. Since it was really dark out in the middle of the night, I could see light reflecting off of the lens. It was at that moment that I realized that this was a much deeper issue than I had first assumed. Wait, this person's coming to your house? That's really dangerous. Haven't you called the police? Well, I mean, we went to go talk to the cop down at the police box, but he didn't really have any proof. I mean, all they had to go on was Nason and Mai's word. But sometimes... he said that sometimes people just come down from the mountain to take a look around. That certainly was true, but having somebody that dangerous come that close to the house holding a camera? Were they really just gonna let that go? Well, it would be nice if they took their job a little bit more seriously, right, Yudi? Well, I mean, he's the only cop that we have, and it's the only police box we have in the entire village, and we just don't have enough hands on deck. What can we do? Yudi replied, completely calm, however. Yeah, I could tell that he wasn't satisfied. Alright, well in that case, then I guess I'll just have to keep hanging out with you guys for the time being. If something were to happen, it would already be too late, but at the very least, I wanted to be with them. At best, it would turn out to be nothing. Okay. It would turn out to be nothing, but even so, I still felt that it was obvious that I was going to try and help. Sorry, Michimune-kun. No, it's fine. I mean, this is way more important than my club practice. I mean, they say that, even pros sometimes skip practice. Uh-oh. It seemed like Miyori-san had just realized. Even though, no matter how you looked at it, it was basically a problem with how I felt. Wait, but didn't you say you were cutting before Michimune? Yudi said with a mischievous smile on his face. Yudi had a mind like a steel trap, and he remembered even the smallest detail, and he often used that to make fun of me. This is usually how it would go when the three of us would hang out, almost as if we had all agreed on it ahead of time. Well, come on, that's just phrasing. I mean, I guess you're right. But I didn't feel bad about it. He knew that I was saying it above all else to make sure that Miyori-san didn't think anything was amiss. Yudi's consideration had also reached Miyori-san, and so she, finally, a smile returned to her face. Alright, well, for a little while at least, why don't the three of us head home together? Upon saying that, as I said that, Yudi smiled and nodded. I was thinking that this would be a short period where things might be kind of fun. So, I guess there's 11 types, huh? Oh, yeah, look! Looks like you've completed an entire set! What? An entire set? Oops, looks like I said too much. Wait, so even though there's 20 or 12 people here, 11 is everyone? Yeah, that's how it is. I see. So you had absolutely no intention of answering me unless it was absolutely necessary. What? What are you talking about? If you can't get info on absolutely everybody, then why would I want to try and take your quiz? If I make a mistake, I die. I wasn't trying to be mean or anything about it, it's just that, you know, there are 11 people's memories here. And I guess to put it in a way that's a little bit easier for you to remember, these are memories. Memories, huh? So what you're trying to tell me is that there's nothing here for Nori. Exactly! Well, if that's the case, then I guess I can be satisfied with 11. For now. I just want to, you know, verify something here. Is this everybody? Yep. Well, this seems like something that you would say. Hey, no. I mean, you'll probably understand this once you read all of them to the end, but I mean, they don't all end in murder. It certainly seems that way right now. You should look forward to reading them all. So, I'll get it if I read them? Well, whether you understand it or not is up to you. Alright, have fun! Alright. I'm trying to think of who we've completed. Oh, alright. Did we already take care of Hakushu? Oh god, I don't fucking remember. Yudi I know is done. Or I know Miyori is done. Did we finish Izuki? I know we had 2. Okay. Asha is done as far as I remember. Ichika is done. I think we finished Issei. I think we only did 1. Alright. I think we only had 1 thing for Issei before. Miyori I know is finished. Let me check. Alright, let's do Issei for right now. Since we have more of an idea from his last thing about him being a cannibal and also wanting to be Vord and everything, we can get some more backstory about that, I suppose? Okay. It was on a winter's day up in the mountain when we had the heaviest recorded snowfall in decades. My housemaid and myself, the housemaid and myself heard it on the news while we were staying at my grandfather's cottage. The master and mistress should have been scheduled to arrive tomorrow, but with this much snow falling, that might be tough. My father worked in the city. My mother also performed in the city. My parents were always extremely busy and had very little time to spend with each other. So it seemed as though, and so my daily life was spent mostly with the maid. I think her name is Sana. I'm gonna have to double check. I don't believe my parents were felt anything less than actual love for me. However, despite how they may have felt, their absence from me was something that was rather unusual. Since Sana-san was the only one around to take care of me, was the only one that was around to take care of me, more than the thousands of other servants, or thousands of other people, I felt as though I was blessed. Alright, well, I shall begin to prepare dinner. Okay, thanks. She would always speak to me extremely politely. Even though I was just the child of her employer, she always treated me exactly the same, and I certainly didn't mind it. There was a little bit of distance there. There was a little bit of distance between us, but we weren't so close that it was, little bit of distance there. We weren't so close that we were, in each other's hair all the time, but we also weren't so distant that we had no relationship. There had been times when I had wondered if she didn't have any emotions of her own. It seemed as though she had, like myself, it seemed as though she had very little interest in other people. And I suppose that's just the kind of person that she was. She wasn't the kind of person. She was the kind of person who would endeavor to complete her work. It wasn't as though she did her work because she felt that there was some sort of meaning behind it, or some sort of meaning behind living, or doing anything for the sake of society. It was almost as if she didn't have any sort of pride in any kind of aim like that. Of course, these are just things that I was thinking. These are just things that I assumed on my own. And I guess I don't really have any idea what kind of person she actually was. And yet, I felt extremely fond of her and close to her. And there was a seed of respect that I carried within me. It had been 3 days since we had lost contact with the outside world. According to the latest news, the roads had all been blocked, and there was no way to reach the cottage. Of course, it meant that my parents' arrival would be put off even longer. When Sana and I had come here together, there had been several days worth of food and kindling that we had brought with us. Of course, since my parents were going to arrive shortly after, they were supposed to bring everything else that we needed for the week, including the extra provisions. Including the extra provisions. Luckily, I had been able to gather enough kindling for the stove in order to make sure that we wouldn't freeze to death. It's all right, Issei-san. Since they should be able to clear the road soon. Your parents will join us presently. The two of us were sitting on the couch, drinking warm coffee when Sana said that to try and calm me down. I'm not worried. Even though I said that, I was pretty concerned. Well, you must be hungry now. What would you like today? Forget about that. I'm hungry. What are we gonna have today? Well, we're going to have warm vegetable soup and... At that moment, we heard a sound from the door. It sounded as though a tree had split in half. A horrible sound. I'm going to go take a look for a moment. Issei-san, please wait here for my return. Yeah, is that okay? Yes, it is perfectly fine. Sana wrapped the shawl that had been around my legs around my neck, and then headed to the door to find out what had happened. I watched her from behind, staring at her through the window. We were already almost halfway buried under snow. And it was up to about and it was up to about my same height. 150 centimeters. 150 centimeters had lain on the ground. That's almost my height. I'm 153. Well, I'm between 153 and like 155. But yeah, that's like almost my height. That's like 5 feet. Even though it was even though it was still early in the afternoon, because of the snow, it cast the room in a dark gloom. Thanks to the fire on the stove. However, thanks to the fire in the stove, I didn't feel completely trapped. But I was a little bit worried about how much snow had drifted up. It was difficult for me to imagine how heavy that much snow would be. And if that much pressure and weight was put onto the small door, then I suppose that would explain the sound from earlier. Would the windows be okay? Since it appears I'm not able to leave the house, we're not able to leave the house, we will have to remain here. And survive in what we have. It appears that we have about 2 days worth of provisions or so. Even though she had always spoken very calmly up until now, I could sense a bit of panic in her voice. Even though I didn't have any reason to, I went out of my way to not ask her about it. We hadn't really addressed any of the other problem right now, but the fact that we weren't able to leave the small cottage was another matter entirely. Well then, I will go ahead and prepare our meal, so please wait for a moment. Okay. 2 more days worth. Until that point... If my parents didn't show up by then, what would happen to us? I felt almost as if the warmth in the room had dissipated somewhat. Feeling a chill creeping up through my toes as I made this horrible realization, I wrapped her shawl around my entire body. As I listened to the bubbling pot on the stove, I began to feel sleepy. The smell of soup began to waft into the room, and I started to feel at ease. Several times while tending to the pot, Sana-san had walked through the living room in order to reach the basement storage. time, I was thinking that this space must truly be what one would call a home, that this would be what one would truly call a family. Well then, it's prepared. I suddenly realized it's on a voice. Breaking through her voice, I heard the sound of shattering glass. Ise-san, hurry up, come here! It was extremely rare to hear her raise her voice like that. Even I could understand how horribly dangerous it was to hear her. Snow began pouring into the living room from the broken window. Take this and let's go to the second floor. Upon saying that, she shoved a blanket and my backpack into my hands. I suppose that we would probably... Okay. I figured we would probably use this to take several things back and forth from the kitchen after we left. Slipping on her own travel shoes, Sana-san grasped my hand. Jesus. 4 days then passed. In my bedroom on the second floor, Sana-san and I wrapped ourselves in one blanket in order to keep warm. I began to lose consciousness thanks to the bitter cold and the starving ravenous hunger in my stomach. Sana-san talked to me about many different things. I fell asleep listening to her sing a song about the song of child protection. And I fell asleep, terrified that I might never wake up again. Alright, cool. Since I don't want to finish all of the elections, before I finish all of, like, the data, I might, just do a thing where I go through, like, all of them. But, alright, let's go back, let's talk to Ichika and Nori. We can find out what the thing is for, next time. I can find out what the thing is, or the sub-topic is, for the election. And then what we can do is, for next week, we can do the election. I'm gonna record these right after one another so that I have a little bit of time to put together the subs, but we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I can get them all done. Alright then. Nori, who had been waiting for me, not taking a nap, sprang to her feet with a spirited agreement. Well, it seems like she doesn't even need to say anything for us to understand what she wants. Alright, well, what should we do today? I felt a strong distinction between my daily life and the elections. And right now, I was winning. was probably one of the reasons that I was letting out such a bright, or talking in such a bright demeanor.
なんでもいいけど、ジェットコースターはしばらくいいかな。
I'm fine with whatever. I guess for right now we can go check out the roller coaster. Reacting to every single word, Nori's expression suddenly changed to one of confusion. It could possibly be that Alice, upon hearing this, decided that she wanted to do something that we wouldn't immediately go to right away. So perhaps it was a different ride. Alright, well, let's get going. Okay. Using Ichi's voice as the signal. Okay. Nori returned to herself and once again seemed prepared to have a fabulous time. Oh, we're going to the teacups.
おめでとうってそんな顔してどうしたの
Yay, you did it. What's up with you? What's with the long face? Well, seems as though my horrible nightmare has once again come to life.
とりあえず回すのはやめておこうね
Let's not actually spin them this time, okay?
はい。この前のことは反省してます。
Yeah, I've learned from last time.
でもノリちゃんは覚えてないっぽいね
Yeah, but it seems as though Nori doesn't even remember.
よし。今日は一回も回さない。
Alright, well, this time I'm not gonna spin us even once.
それがいいかもね
Yeah, it's probably for the best. As we sat in the slowly turning cup, I stared up at the sky. Countless small pieces of cloud drifted across the sky. And as I stared at them, I realized there weren't any gaudy decorations like on the merry-go-round. There was no thrilling action like on the roller coaster. Even though there wasn't anything to make this special, or rather thanks to the fact that nothing made it special, it put my heart at ease. Okay, so we got card C, and another card C.
よだれついてるよ
Yeah, I'm a little dizzy.
嘘。
What? No, you're not.
まだ寝ぼけてるんだね
Seems like you're still pretty sleepy, huh? Yeah.
つまらなかった一度要一人で乗ってくる思いっきり回していいから
Oh, was it too boring? I mean, if you want to ride by yourself once, that's fine. You can spin it all you like.
違うって。すごく気持ちよかったから。
No, that's not it at all. I just felt really good, you know?
それでよだれも
Yeah, and that's why I'm so
それはもういいって。
Enough with that.
昨日のお返し。でももういいかな。私も要の寝顔を見られたし。
Hey, it's just my payback for yesterday. But I guess we're even now, since I also got to see your sleeping face.
やっぱりまだ気にしてたんだ。
I knew you were still gonna be on about this.
それは気にするよ。だって私もその出てたよだれ。
Of course I'm gonna be worried about it, but did I also, drool?
ないない。綺麗な寝顔だったよ。
Not at all. You have a beautiful sleeping face.
本当っぽい。
Seems like you're telling the truth.
だから本当だって。脳裏じゃないんだから。
That's because it is true? You're not naughty.
のりちゃんだってそんなことないよ。
Oh, come on. It's not like naughty drools in her sleep either.
そうだった？
Really? Naughty probably hadn't intended to reply to me, but since we had just had some sort of strange conversation, Ichika and I laughed.
ごめんごめん。
Sorry. With all this talk of what people looked like while they were asleep, and the fact that I was feeling so at peace, and thinking about how happy I was in this moment, I remembered what the two of them looked like when asleep.
かなめ、そのニヤニヤした顔はまさか思い出してた？
Huh? Kaname, why are you smiling like that? Could it be that you're remembering? I didn't really want to lie to her, so I tried to play it off with a laugh.
次は明後日かな。
Next up it'll be the day after tomorrow, huh? I realized that even though I might be completely overjoyed, I still had a physical self. Ichika was talking as if there wasn't going to be an election tomorrow. Okay. She wasn't really worried about anything that would happen during the election at all. And once we hit the day after tomorrow, then we'd go back to our new daily life. She truly believed that. And because she was trusting me, I had to make sure that I didn't lose.
次は何だろうね。そういえば観覧車にはしばらく乗ってなかったかな。
Wonder what we should do next. Actually, now that I think about it, we haven't been on the Ferris wheel very often lately. As I said that, my emotions internally changed track. If I wasn't able to win the election tomorrow, then this current happiness, my revenge, all of it would be over. One more person would be erased from this world. Out of the 12 people that Alice had claimed were the last ones of the human race, only 5 remained. And then tomorrow, it would become 4.
Kaname?
Kaname?
ああ、なんでもないよ。
Huh? Ah, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Okay. Ichika didn't say anything about my very obvious bald-faced lie, and just nodded with a small smile. Tojitsu!
Iko. Ichika.
Let's go, Ichika.
行
Yeah.
こう
Let's go?
そう。行こ
Yeah, let's go.
ノーリちゃんもはっきり喋れるようになってきたね。
Wow, Nori-chan, you've been able to... I need to not think in Japanese. Wow, Nori-chan, you've really started saying actual words.
う。こうしてると、成長っていうのもおかしいのかな。とにかく、いろいろ覚えてるっていうのを実感するね。
I don't know if I want to call this growth necessarily. That sounds kind of weird, but at the very least, she's starting to remember stuff. That feels a little more accurate.
要がいない間もずっと話しかけてるからね。
That's probably because I keep talking to her when you aren't around.
そうなの。
Oh, really?
だってそれくらいしかすることもないから。
Well, I mean, that's pretty much... that's the least I could do.
ごめん。
Sorry.
謝らないで。最近は選挙の日以外は一緒に毎日外にも出てるしね。
Hey, don't apologize. Lately, when we're not at the election, you pretty much go out and hang out with us all day.
カード集めのことだね。
Yeah, about collecting all the cards, huh? At the first time that Alice had brought out a brand new rule, I had never imagined that this would have been the result. This rule hadn't been in place, then I probably would have locked Nori up in her room every day and not let her set a foot outside in order to protect her.
それに要が思ってるよりも楽しんでるんだから。
And it's been even more fun than even you thought.
楽しい。
More fun?
なんて言うんだろう。手のかかる妹みたいな感じかな。ほら、私には兄弟がいないから。
I don't know how to phrase it, but it seems almost like, you know, like you've got like a little sister or something, maybe? I mean, I don't know. I don't have any siblings.
妹か。
Little sister, huh? Maybe both Ichika and myself were trying to replace Misa with Nori. Her memory might be erased, but somewhere within Ichika, she remembered something about Misa.
あれ？あ、そうだよね。要にも兄弟はいないから分かりづらかったかな。
Huh? Oh, yeah, you don't have any siblings either, do you, Kaname? So I guess it doesn't really make a lot of sense to you either, huh?
いや、なんとなくわかるよ。
No, I more or less understand.
それに、あと4日でしょ。その後は。
And besides, we've only got 4 days left, right? And after that... Ichika stopped there and didn't say anything further. And after that, it'll be just the 3 of us. But I can't even imagine it. What's gonna happen to us? I mean, I guess we'll be saved by whatever Alice tells us. Everything she said has been a complete mystery with absolutely no answers. It's just thing after thing that I don't understand at all.
その後のことは、その時になればわかるよ。
Well, we'll figure that out when we get to it.
うん。 そうだね。
Yeah, that's true.
今はとにかく選挙に行こう。変に心配しても何も変わらないしね。
For now, let's just get to the election. I mean, if we start worrying about all kinds of strange stuff, it's not going to change anything anyway.
勝てるよね。
You're gonna win, right?
絶対に勝つよ。
Definitely. It wasn't a lie. I was determined. And in order to make sure it became a reality, I couldn't lose. Alright. I guess we'll stop there for right now, since it's been about like 50 minutes or so. So, next time is election for Shihori. Man, I don't even... Alright, based on the memories we've read from her, her mom has all of these weird ideas about what's proper and what's good, so she was really sheltered for a long time and couldn't get glasses because her mom threw a fit about it, which is funny to me because it reminds me of a plot point in General Hospital like 20 years ago. My daughter needs glasses! But, yeah. So, alright, that'll be it for this week. This week was just kind of like backstory stuff and setting up the next election and the fact that Kaname's like, well, shit, what happens after this? And then next week we'll, I guess, debate Shihori and go from there. So, alright, everybody, thank you very much, and I will see you next week. Bye!